Westbrook in a second, but first Vikings and Saints. Look at this catch from Adam Thielen. That's pretty.
It's a beautiful adjustment. Let's ask Westbrook. Thielen or Diggs? You can only have one. Who you got?
I love Diggs' speed, but I'm going with Adam Thielen. Catches the ball, great catch radius there, catches everything. To me, that's a routine catch for him.
Niners and Cowboys and Deebo Samuel. He makes a nice catch over the defender in his NFL debut.
Deebo out here snatching chains. They're going to need him to be really good this year. They got a thin wide receiving core in San Francisco.
Do have a thin receiving core. I think they got the second best tight end, though.
Yep.
Behind Kelsey.
100%.
Kittle, Iowa guy, man, he can flat out run.
All right, to the CFL now. Winnipeg Blue Bombers Marcus Sales going up high for the interception here.
It's a great pick, but listen, man, you got those extra 10 yards in the back of the end zone, quarterback, use them. Throw to the back pylon, man. Everybody knows that. Teach you that, Pop Warner.
Maybe he tried.
Oh, I mean, try harder. Try better.
Maybe that's why he's in.
Try smarter.
Well, sometimes Johnny can't do what you tell Johnny to do. That's why you send him to the CFL. It's professional football, but not at its highest level.
Wagner football practice. Here we go. Wideout Joshua DeCamry with a
Tell me which is more impressive, Nick. Either the catch or all these guys running, realizing, man, there's a lot of black guys pay for Wagner. Like, I ain't know that. I was like, I ain't know no brothers went up to Wagner.
I'm not that
I ain't know what's down with Wagner.
Wagner's athletic
I was like,
program.
dang, okay. What happened? Mean Green, what happened? Okay.
That is, I mean,
that is a great catch.
Look at where he caught the ball.
I know Nick's like, why are you looking at that?
No, I'm with it. I got you. I just let you run.
You got me?
Absolutely. It's just better said by you than me.
I need to set up a law firm outside there. You got some guys that represent.
Oh, no.
Man, this is enough, man. I'm tired of this, Nick. We got to get it.
Oh, no, but this guy's in the NBA. This is Derrick Jones Jr.
This is Derrick Jones.
He's in the Miami Heat.
Oh, that's Stretch Armstrong.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he always doing some crazy dunks. But we need an open competition. He can be in on the NBA side. I'm down
That
with
is
it.
amazing.
Look at how he
Open competition. Guys, 5 guys off the street. NBA's 5 best dunkers. NBA All-Star Weekend. Let's make it happen.
That's the only way to do it.
$1 million cash.
Also, you can talk your buddy LeBron into acting like he's in his son layup line. He'll do some dunks.
He only does it at the AAU tournament.
Yeah.
To the Cowboys now, with Ezekiel Elliott still holding out and no end in sight to the stalled negotiations. Dallas has started to look at life beyond Zeke, but how do you replace the productivity of arguably the best back in the league? Well, there's rookie 4th-round pick out of Memphis, Tony Pollard. Sure, he had just 16 yards on 4 carries in his debut Saturday, but that doesn't have Jerry Jones concerned.
He looks confident out there. We know he's inordinately understanding what it is he does and can do. And we've seen him do it. We know he's capable of, if he really needs to, carry the whole load.
Brian, is Jerry sending a message to Zeke? Hey, Zeke, we've got Alfred Morris. We clearly have Tony Pollard. We have Mike Weber.
Right.
We good.
Well, I think he's trying to. And I remember when I was holding out of my contract there in Philadelphia, Andy Reid, every day, he would pump up all the running backs that were in camp. But but after practice, he was calling me, hey, when you going to be here? What time are you going to be here? We need you here. Tony Pollard's probably going to be a decent player in the NFL. He'll never be Zeke. And there's a big difference between Zeke and almost every other running back in the league. There's 2 situations, the situation in Dallas and the situation with the Chargers. Melvin Gordon, there's some replacements there. Austin Eckler was a good running back last year. Justin Jackson proved himself a little bit last year. They have 2 good running backs there. They have a replacement for Melvin Gordon. They're not in a rush to get him in. In Dallas, their offense is built around Zeke and what he can do. To me, if they want to win this year, they have to have Zeke. There's no question about it. He can send as many messages as he wants. Until he sends a check for Zeke, this team won't win.
Well, let's talk about you for a moment. Because during your career, obviously, you were a unique back as far as your dual threat. Tell me if you disagree with this. There were probably a dozen to 15 guys in the league that could have given the Eagles 50 to 60% of what you gave them. That if they replaced you, they could have given them similar production, about halved.
Right.
How many guys in the league during 06, 07, the stretch where you were really at your apex. I think you had 2,000 yard from scrimmage season in there. How many guys in the league could have replaced you in 07 and given them 100% of your production?
Not very many, maybe 2 or 3, maybe.
And that's what Zeke's trying to get paid for. Everyone knows that running back is fungible. Everyone knows that they throw more than ever before, that the position is maybe more devalued, even more devalued than when you were playing. But how much is the greatness quotient worth? How much is the part that makes Zeke and Le'Veon Bell and Todd Gurley and potentially Saquon Barkley? I think we have good reason to believe he's going to join that group if he's not already there. How much is the difference between a guy that can get you 1,000 yards like Melvin Gordon and a guy that could get you 1,500 yards? How much is that spread actually worth? Because Zeke's trying to say that spread's worth about $14 million per year. Because you could get the 1,000-yard guy for about $2 million per year. So that's the conflict here. And for the Cowboys, it probably wouldn't be worth $14 million per year, except for this season when they haven't paid Dak, when they haven't paid Amari, when they are trying to build off the success of winning a playoff game, playoffs through the last 3 years, and know that this is their window where they are more talented this year than they likely will be next year when these new contracts kick in.
There's 2 conflicts here. One is resetting the running back market, and number 2 is the pie is only so big, and I'm trying to envision what we're going to do the next 24 months. I know that we have at least 3 players on that defense we would like to keep with the team long term. I know that the quarterback is going to be making $30 million. I know Amari Cooper is going to be making at least $17 million. So I can't reset the running back market, especially a year early. Maybe next year I'll be able to do that. But Zeke is not trying to hear that. So it's not only a conflict of money, it's a conflict of the principles of how the team is going to spend money going forward. And if they sign Ezekiel Elliott to the contract that he wants, someone else is going to get shortchanged. And it's going to be some of those defensive players. So Jerry wants to be competitive over this next 3-year window. Ezekiel Elliott, the only problem is, and people don't want to talk about it, is you think your contract should be done 2 years early just because Todd Gurley. You think Dallas should do business like the Rams did business. And a lot of times that does not transfer. It's not like a league precedent. League precedent is you got 1 year left. You'll get your salary. You'll get a new contract. That's what Dak will get. That's what Amari will get, either franchise. But 2 years in the off the field, that's the reason why there's a conflict here, and I don't believe they're going to be able to come to a resolution because Jerry cannot afford to reset the market with Zeke, even though he's earned it. He's got to earn it for 1 more season, getting the last year of that contract, and I'm sure Jerry Jones then, Jenna, would give him the type of contract that both sides could be satisfied with.
Okay, Brian, give me an idea of what this Cowboys team looks like with no Ezekiel Elliott. How good can they be? How far can they go? Well, and more importantly, how good does Dak Prescott end up being?
Well, this offseason, they brought in Kellen Moore, new offensive coordinator. John Kitna, retired quarterback, was in the league 15 years for a long time as a quarterback coach. They want Dak Prescott to be the man in Dallas, for them to be more successful. They don't want to lean on the run as much. I think if Dak can step up and be that quarterback, I'm talking about a top 7 or 8 quarterback, this team could be very good. They have the talent on the outside with Cobb, as well as Amari Cooper. However, if he's not, which he hasn't been quite yet, then they're going to need Zeke. They're going to need his ability to take the pressure off the quarterback. They're going to need those 3rd and 3s that Zeke can get that first down. They're going to need that guy. Nick mentioned something, $14 million. It's probably going to cost you about $14 million a year, but what it's going to gain you with that $14 million is 2 or 3 extra games that you're going to win with Zeke. Guys on the defensive side of the ball sitting on the sideline while Zeke is running the ball up and down the field. That means home field advantage. We're talking about a team that won the NFC East 2 of the 3 last seasons. They did that because of their ability to run the football. Zeke is a big part of that. I don't think they can be as successful, to your question, Jenna, without Zeke inside the huddle.
Without Zeke, there's 9 teams in the NFC clearly better than them. Philly is better than them. Green Bay, Chicago, Minnesota, all in the north. New Orleans, Atlanta, Carolina in the south. The Rams and the Seahawks in the west. Without Zeke, there's 9 teams in the NFC going into the season. Now, there's always a surprise team and teams that fall back. I know all that. But on paper, they would be at best the 10th best team in their conference. With Zeke, to me, they rise up into that second tier of NFC contenders behind your New Orleans, but the Rams, if you still really like them after last year. So that's Zeke's only leverage. Am I the difference between 11 wins and potentially hosting a playoff game and 8 or 9 wins and being out of the playoffs? That's his only leverage because the contract is in the Cowboys' favor.
That's right.
All right, let's take a break. Brian, we'll see you a bit later on the show. Coming up, wait till you hear what Aaron Rodgers has to say about his new head coach. That's next on First Things First.